Hey guys, good morning. Heart health tips and support. Day 157. This is something I started 157 days ago, committing to showing up here and share with you something every single day. And you know, this is a journey of transformation. We started with different challenges and different approaches, and the decision was really to focus and share with you what has been the number one thing that has shifted my entire perception of life and really flipped my way of being, and that was my heart attack. And that's why everything that I do right now relates to heart health and heart disease, because I realized when my heart attack happened, you know what, I didn't realize it when it happened because I had a near-death experience that was very disturbing. It's not something that I'm still able to talk about openly. I'm still working through it myself 3 years later, so you can understand how intense it is. But the reality was that I thought it was a physical issue. I thought there was something wrong inside of me. You know, you go to a doctor, they tell you, oh, your cholesterol, you're this, you're that, whatever. They try and find these biochemical or physical issues with you to say this is why it happened, or you have heart disease and now you're labeled. So it's not my fault. For me, most of it they say is genetics. So what do? Do I go and blame my parents that they gave it to me? It's bullshit. The reality was that it took me a long time to understand that heart disease is a manifestation, and the heart is the seat of the soul. And when that organ gets to the point of almost dying, there is something very deep in it. And I didn't realize it when it first happened. I was in a place where, again, I thought it was just a physical issue. You know, I got a little plaque in my artery that erupted and it created a blockage in my main artery, and therefore I had a heart attack. Yeah, those are the mechanics. But going much deeper, I found that the real connection, the real situation is that sometimes we can create these conditions within our heart through our mind. I'm an overthinker, busy mind, somebody who spends a lot of time in his head and trying to figure out things. I love philosophy, I love ideas, I love life, and it gets pretty busy. But in dark times in my life, also the darkness is amplified. And when that is amplified, that is something I didn't realize, that the effects accumulate within the body, but they start up here. And then they manifest themselves in the body. And I've learned to understand also that heart disease is not just, caused because you have high cholesterol, you have blood pressure, or you have high blood sugar. All of these things are just symptoms. The reality is that there is an inflammatory condition, chronic inflammation that is out of control, but it is so low that you don't feel it. You don't necessarily see the side effects of it. I probably carried this inflammation for more than a decade after my first car accident, all the surgeries and operations and the dark nights of the soul and my mind going crazy, and all of those things created fertile ground for the inflammation to really thrive. And it's like a furnace inside of you, and slowly burns you from the inside out. But it's not just the heart, the arteries, and the organs. It's also the mind. And that's when I came to realize what a Heart Guardian is. And this is why I created the program Heart Guardian, because I understood that there is a direct connection between the soul, the heart, the physical, and the mind and our thoughts. And it's overrated with many people how they see it and how they talk about it. Sometimes they say that this is, woo-woo stuff, or you don't connect to it. I learned to realize that there is something about how we show up in a way where we can really let go of what we think, let go of different perceptions of who we are, what we should be, what we shouldn't be. And that was a tough one for me, guys. I have to tell you, I'm an A-type personality, a high achiever, a warrior, a survivor. I mean, life threw at me many things, and it's just, you can't take me down so quickly. But what I've learned to understand, and most of it through my clients, because I've been working with people with heart disease now for over a year and a half, and I see the patterns. And the patterns are, yes, the heart was damaged or about to be damaged or something is going on, But the process begins up here. The process begins with a misalignment between who you are, who you think you are, who you should be, what other people think you should be. And then you're in this flux of fear, flux of uncertainty. And that's a very, very difficult place to be in. And that is something that I've learned. And this is why I created the Heart Guardian system. And basically what it does, it makes you a heart guardian. But where it starts with the physical body, but it gets to the core, it gets to the soul, it gets to your heart. And now you become a heart guardian. And that means that it's not just that you need to be very diligent, with your nutrition, with your lifestyle, and how you manage stress, and how you manage sleep, and all of those things. Those are the technicalities. Those are the posts, lines that we kind of look at, and we try and understand what they are. But really, when you understand that a heart guardian is somebody who has to connect to their heart and you have to be honest, brutally honest with who you are, with what's going on. I always had the tendency to paint a picture that I can live with, right? Oh, it happened because of this, it happened because of them, it happens because of something else. We blame and shame on a constant basis, ourselves and others. This is just how we are. We're wired, we're human, we're not machines. But when you start to really understand the connection, when you really see how it affects you from the inside out, there is something that I think people with heart disease must learn as they go, because we cannot ignore it. When you have a heart attack, the first thing you try and do is mechanics, right? Oh, how do I eat better? How do I manage my stress? How do I do this? How do I do that? But those are like a stepping stone. It's like you go to the gym and you start to lift weights. Who says that that's going to actually help you, right? Yes, it activates the muscles. Maybe there's some micro tears and maybe you build a little bit muscle, but that's the mechanical action. Until you get the connection between a movement to your mind, nothing really moves forward. And it's the same thing when you talk about health. When you try and deal with your health, it has to come from a deep place of connection of why you are actually doing this, right? Because just to follow a diet, let's say you heard about this new fad diet and it's great, I don't know, the crazy stuff, ketogenics diets and paleo diets and I don't know, carnivore diets, all these crazy things. And you think, oh, this is the thing, right? That's the mechanics. Now you're going to follow it. Whether you see results or not, maybe on the weight scale, but not beyond that, because you're not there for the right purpose. And this is the entire journey. This is why, for me, I have really realized that the deeper you go on this journey, yes, you start with the physical body, you start with the mechanical elements, but the deeper you allow yourself to go, the deeper you discover what a heart guardian is. And a heart guardian is someone who shows up for themselves and their loved ones every single day with one purpose. And that purpose is to be in alignment with who you are and live your truth. So many times, I lived in a contradiction of things, right? Be that in business or my first marriage or things of that nature. I wasn't in alignment. I just wasn't. I wanted to make it so. I forced it to be so, but life showed me differently. So, my friends, this is it for today. Just a little heart-to-heart talk about what a heart guardian is and why it is so important to understand that the journey is inwards. And yes, you have to have the elements on the physical side, but if you don't understand that it's all about how you show up for yourself, nothing else really is going to shift much. All right, my friends, have a beautiful weekend. I will see you again tomorrow. Have a great one. See you guys.